The feeling of winning. Dopamine is kicking in.
Over soon, 20 seconds.
You are at the top of the world. You defeated your opponent, no one else. Losing causes anger, sadness, grief, hatred, sorrow, resentment, distress. Winning is an addiction. It's a drug. It's very hard to stop once you get started. You want to win at all costs. And once you lose, you need to overcompensate by this time obliterating your opponent. Now, I tell you, there's a way to keep winning, to relive this moment again and again, over and over. I've got this ticket that guarantees victory. You want it? Really? At what cost? I didn't know anything about cheating in chess. That was until a few months ago I stumbled upon an infamous interview. So you've got this guy, Niemann.
A very strong junior player who's very close to the world's elite. He was always a very unique character.
He's kind of
Yes.
talking shit.
This is fucking awesome. Like we got a young American guy who shit talks every time he's on camera.
He's asked to respond to cheating allegations right after the 5th round of the 2022 Sinquefield Cup.
When I was 12 years old, I was with a friend and I was playing Title Tuesday. And I was playing and he came over on the iPad with an engine. 4 years later, when I was 16 years old doing my streaming career, in an absolutely ridiculous mistake, in unrated games. After that, when I was 12, I have never, ever in my life cheated in an over-the-board game.
Niemann expressly denies having ever cheated in a rated game over the board. However, he does acknowledge having cheated multiple times in online games. July 7th, 2020. 2 years prior to this interview, Niemann, at age 16, sent to chess.com a letter in which he apologizes for his behavior after getting caught cheating, stating, quote, "Actually, I was surprised you catched me because I cheated only in 5 games. Which, at least to me, comes across as very incentive and not in proportion to the severity of his behavior. This image of Hans is also shown in some of his interviews and live streams, where, at least to some, he comes across as cocky.
The explanation I'm going to give is going to make you all the top GMs look like total idiots.
Unkind. And unconvincing.
And you know what? This is the truth, and I would really, and now Magnus can, and Hikaru, I've never ever cheated against you in an online game. Never happened.
Niemann himself claims to be a victim of his own curiosity.
I was a child, I had no idea what happened.
Which would be supported by some. Young people simply make mistakes.
People cheat online, especially when they're young. It's very it's very captivating. It's a very nice thing to do.
No one is perfect. Sometimes you do stupid stuff and you can learn from it. You could even argue his flawed personality and history as a cheater make him somehow appealing as a person.
I like the idea of somebody who is flawed psychologically and ethically and just a full fascinating personality, and this somehow just becomes obsessed.
Or that his arrogance helps increase the popularity of the game. Well, I mean, that might be all the case, but not to the general public. From the moment you're labeled a cheater, it becomes as inseparable from your personality as your own shadow. And you will have to carry that burden for the rest of your life.
And I know that my actions have consequences, and I suffer those consequences.
Once stigmatized a cheater, always a cheater. It becomes a feature of yourself. You can't reject, shake off, or deny it. The only thing you can do is acknowledge your mistake, better yourself, and go on with your life.
Of course, I made a childish mistake, and I will have to live with that.
This one interview was the key to the world of cheating in chess, and I dove right in. I soon realized this whole thing is bigger than I initially thought. Believe me, you have only seen the surface, the tip of the iceberg. You have no clue how bad this actually gets. Hans is just one of many.
How am I this fucking good?
It is an existential threat to chess.
No!
Like, this is a very serious problem that's only going to get bigger.
What?
This only became a huge concern at the highest level of play. But then how much cheating is going on at like the middle level of play?
My search began with this video. We see Garry Kasparov, former World Chess champion. He's playing an exhibition at Johannesburg in 2011. In the middle of the tournament, Garry discovers one of his opponents to be much stronger than originally being told by the organizers.
Specifically asked you, who are the strongest players in the Simon? You didn't point at him. Which is
I did not know he's in the
come on, you can recognize him. He's the strongest player in the Simon by far.
Garry is angry, and rightfully so. However, while this behavior might not directly be seen as cheating, this was still just a taste of what some players are capable of doing. Hold on tight, because we are going straight in. Let's go one decennium back in time. Cheating is still a topic only taken lightly. Some particularities are emerging, but they generally remain fairly harmless. That is, until 2010. There's the FIDE Olympia tournament at Khanty-Mansijsk, and some players have something up their sleeve. Yes, not one, but three to be exact. They develop some more profound methods to further professionalize the cheating game. This is where cheating becomes less and less innocent. This is where an arguably foolish mistake or excusable miscommunication turns into organized crime. Let me present to you the French dream team. Vachier-Lagrave, Fressinet, Vladislav and Feller. All of these guys are innocent, but one. Grandmaster Sébastien Feller.
Il va y avoir du sang, ça sera pas le nôtre.
His sudden rise in 2010 becomes suspicious when, out of the blue, he enters the world's top 100, well on its way to surpass the Super GM rating mark. The cheat is set up with the help of two friends. Each of them is attributed an important role in the cheat. Cyril Marzolo, an international master who's attributed the role of engine analyst. Then you have Arnaud Hauchard.
Je me présente, je m'appelle Arnaud Hauchard.
Chess grandmaster and coach of the French team, whose task is to communicate the right moves to Feller. I mean, you have to understand that none of the other players know about this. This is a very secret collaboration. So you have this one guy, Marzolo, who's following the tournament at home while using a computer program named Firebird to decide the best moves. He transfers this information to the team coach, Hauchard, by SMS, who's standing or sitting at various tables as a signal or code to Feller, who's prior to the tournament studied a predefined coded system. The only thing Feller has to do is use the decoded information to his advantage during the game. Johanna Pomian, vice president of the French Chess Federation, notices SMS messages being sent between Hauchard and Marzolo during the games, which eventually leads to the team being caught.
Parce que maintenant, dans le milieu très feutré des échecs, 3 hommes, 3 Français sont soupçonnés d'avoir triché lors d'une compétition internationale. Ils nous ont dit que c'était une folie, qu'ils regrettaient, mais que bon, il fallait pas que ça se sache.
J'ai beaucoup de mal à comprendre la motivation parce que qu'est-ce qui est bien dans la vie, c'est d'être fier de ce qu'on fait. Si on gagne en trichant.
Et c'est évidemment un choc pour tout le monde en parle et voilà, on est un peu mal à l'aise évidemment d'être qu'on parle de nous à cause de cette affaire.
The FIDE Ethics Commission suspends Feller, Hauchard and Marzolo from further participation in official competition for a few years. However, Feller doesn't leave it there and instead takes legal action, stating, quote, "I completely deny the charges of cheating imposed by the French Chess Federation. This disciplinary proceeding is actually related to the fact that I supported, at the time of the Chess Olympiad, the current president of FIDE in opposition with the current direction of the French Chess Federation, which is just a lot of unconvincing nonsense." Feller's bravery has the opposite effect. The correctional tribunal of Thionville sentences him to a suspended sentence of 6 months in prison for fraud. But what if you don't have a coach like Hauchard to give you hints? What if you don't have a full team to collaborate with? There are more options than you'd initially think. In the digital age, many new ways have been designed to communicate remotely, and thus a handful of new ways to cheat. This is by some referred to as electronic doping, which would be popularized by the more bold butt plug version, thanks to Eric Hansen.
That's probably a good one, right? An anal bead probably would beat the thing.
Reddit. Elon Musk.
Somehow that clip and that theory I came up with randomly just talking to Twitch, in the end, we got a response from Elon Musk.
Newspapers and mainstream media.
I know it's unlikely, but it would explain his unique style of play. Knight to King 7.
Okay, so how do you do it? How do you cheat? First, you'd need a Bluetooth device. The device can be hidden under your armpit, in your ear, in a watch, or in your butt. Then there's an option. You either have a friend who is watching the game live or broadcasted, who's inserting the moves played into the engine and sending the predetermined signals directly via Bluetooth. Or there's a device or software that's reading the board in real time from the online broadcast, or the footage that it's sent to by a hidden camera that's inserting the moves into the engine and sending the signals to you automatically. This would request some computing and engineering skills, but would be perfectly doable. Then the device should be capable of sending multiple vibrations.
Your smartphone has ability to vibrate. You can do programmatic communication through anything. Bluetooth is the easiest.
Let's say in the game you'd want to send the move bishop to h7. How do you do that? As a start, there are 6 types of chess pieces: pawn, knight, bishop, rook, queen, and king. Each of them is attributed a number of buzzes. The same goes for a square. A square is made up of a letter A to H and a number 1 to 8. So every possible move could be defined by 3 sets of maximum 8 buzzes, which is quite a lot. And in case of a butt plug, you'd definitely be extremely horny by the end of the match. On a more serious note though, if you'd want to play the move bishop to h7, this means that you'd need respectively 3 buzzes, 8 buzzes, and 7 buzzes.
I would need 2 squares. The first to designate which piece, and the second where the piece is moving. That's probably the easiest.
A prolonged version of this would be the one where the piece is identified as a square. Then you'd need 4 sets of maximum 8 buzzes. But other codes are conceivable as well. Let's say you'd rather transfer the evaluation of a position. You could attribute an amount of buzzes to a very good, equal, bad, and very bad position.
What's the smallest amount of information you need to help you?
Basically like a buzz in a critical position. That would be good.
And what would the buzz say?
It would be something like 1 buzz means the position is great, and 2 buzzes means the position is completely equal, or there's nothing special in the position.
Or there could even be just 1 buzz, which would be representing a critical position. Whenever there's a buzz, the player knows that he has to take more time and play a very precise move. You can see where this is going. Communication does not need to be very detailed. Not the full speech saying a move through a Bluetooth speaker, but instead a single buzz could be enough to transfer useful information. Cheaters are also free to choose not to play the top engine move but the next best one, or playing some moves by the computer and others by themselves. On top of all of this, these devices get smaller and smaller.
It's the size of a coin.
Less and less noticeable.
You just have this in your pocket.
And they have multiple thinkable applications.
Especially when more money is involved, so in the game of poker.
Not only the game of chess is in danger here, this is getting far more scary than I initially thought. It's Since the summer of 2015, local newspapers are talking about an unknown player who manages to play more than 50 games in a row without being defeated once. His name is Bjørnsen. He's visually impaired, which means he's allowed to use a special chess set for blind players, as well as an electronic earpiece through which he can keep a record of his moves with a recorder coupled to the thing. When a year before, Bjørnsen only managed to get an average score in the lowest section of the Norwegian Chess Championship, he's all of a sudden dominating the Class 2 section, with players' ratings varying between 1500 and 1750, as well as winning a local Christmas tournament with a performance rating of almost 2300. Now, tech experts go on to claim that Bjørnsen's headset was unable to connect with a recorder, speculating that the device was Bluetooth enabled, which causes headlines in all Norwegian mainstream media. Even Magnus Carlsen comments on the story, expressing a strong reservation, calling him, quote, a really unique talent, if everything is correct, and I hope it is. Now, Bjørnsen's innocence is at stake. He defends himself, claiming that he had made the progress from beginner to master level by, quote, playing through Carlsen's and Anand's games with various colors, and, quote, studying chess for up to 10 hours a day for months. He further stated, quote, my way of playing and learning chess is different than others. I memorize all possibilities on the board and have to admit that my level of understanding is pretty average for a chess player. I'm good at remembering analysis made in advance. You have to understand that even the youngest, most talented prodigies are in no way capable of going from a newbie status to master level in the course of only 1 year, let alone a 52-year-old who happens to be blind. However, you can't just suspend a player without clear and objective evidence, which is why the Norwegian Chess Federation decides to launch an investigation. You have Kenneth Reagan, who is a professor of computer science and engineering and regarded to be one of the leading experts in the field. Only Reagan's model is approved as statistical methodology for determining whether someone has cheated or not. If you're looking for an expert on chess cheating, Reagan's your guy. Reagan developed this program that's capable of detecting cheating by distinguishing a computer's behavior from that of a human being. His program uses different formula based on statistics. The calculated result falls within one of 3 different levels. Levels below 2.75 indicates no cheating. Levels in between 2.75 and 4.75 means there's a great chance of cheating, while levels above 4.75 is considered clear cheating. Reagan concluded in his report that, quote, the full test of both tournaments is arguably over 5.0. A quick disclaimer here. It is important to note that the program is not foolproof or watertight in a sense that some cheating may still slip through the net and go undetected. This is the case when the cheating is carefully set up. The cheating happens only occasionally and it's done in a sneaky and human-like manner by choosing when and especially when not to cheat. In that case, the program will have a harder time making the difference between a computer and a human being. However, when lots of data is available to analyze and taken into account that the suspicious player cheats continuously over an extended period of time, Reagan's model is definitely legit. More recently, Reagan's model was capable of detecting Rausis cheating.
So whatever Rausis was doing, I get an absolutely crystal clear signal out of this.
And when it was unleashed on all of Hans Niemann's games since 2020, no evidence of cheating was found.
This is Niemann's over-the-board chess. So this to me is completely normal.
Contradicting Chess.com's report.
So Niemann would have had to have been significantly smarter or less frequent or something like that than Rausis in order to, but as said, then I would expect to see something in between, and I don't.
Let's go back to Bjørnsen, who, according to Reagan's model, is clearly cheating. Bjørnsen denies all allegations and rambles on a bit, saying, quote, "I still claim my innocence. I can understand why it seemed strange that I used headset with Bluetooth, but there's a long way from that to receive information to my ears. I didn't receive any information. I didn't cheat on purpose," which of course makes absolutely no sense at all. In 2016, Bjørnsen agrees to go through a test in order to prove his real playing strength. It happens in a special lab where surely no outside communication could come true. It's quite funny that Bjørnsen fails miserably. His rating is averaging below 1,000 and he's unable to solve the easiest made exercises. The rules committee of the International Chess Federation includes, quote, "There is zero chance that Bjørnsen, with his playing strength, would have made all these moves without any assistance." Bjørnsen is banned from domestic competition for 2 years. However, this is not the end of the story. Fast forward to March 2018. Bjørnsen has just served his ban and returns to official chess. Bjørnsen is playing at his local club tournament in Horten. It's the 4th round of this event. Bjørnsen has just won all of his games and he's now up against the talented 1600 rated 9-year-old Nigalidze. The game goes on normally until at a certain point in the game, the girl's father, who's watching his daughter, notices something suspicious. Bjørnsen was repeatedly putting his left hand close to his ear, and with the aim of collecting evidence, the father starts to film the whole thing. Let's have a look at the footage. There are a few clear frames of a Bluetooth earpiece taped to Bjørnsen's hand. When called to account for his behavior, Bjørnsen again denies all allegations, saying, quote, "It is illegal to bring any electronic devices to a chess game, and I had, so I'm automatically suspended. But I didn't cheat at all. I was just picking on it. But I was just fiddling around because I was not in great shape that day. I'm seriously sick," which obviously again is a whole lot of bullshit. His behavior and rambling could in part be explained by the chemotherapy that Bjørnsen was going through at the time as a result of an aggressive form of cancer, as stated by his wife. However, no medical condition can excuse cheating, especially not when you repeat yourself. Bjørnsen was warned. The International Chess Federation acted severely. It was the very first time a player got a lifetime suspension, which means Bjørnsen is permanently banned from participation in official chess. It goes without saying that Bjørnsen is no longer welcome in his local club. Let's go 2 decennia back in time. It's January 1993. We are at the Hoogovens Super Tournament in Wijk aan Zee in the Netherlands. We see Garry Kasparov and Viswanathan sitting at the breakfast table, having lively discussions and enjoying their time. To their interest is a new German prodigy by the name of Clemens Alwerman. He enjoyed a meteoric rise, kicking the shit out of IMs and GMs. Nothing new there. The chess world has known upcoming prodigies for a long time, unless you keep in account the following facts. 1. He's 55 years old and holds the 1900 rating for about 20 years. 2. He enjoys himself trash-talking his opponents after winning his games. 3. New discoveries find an unusual amount of his moves to be corresponding with the top move by Fritz 5.32 and the Fritz PowerBook 9099. 4. He's always wearing a tie and a dark blazer, despite the heat up to 32 degrees in the tournament hall. 5. The guy used to run a store for electronic equipment. I hear you screaming. Every piece of the puzzle is making sense now. His age, arrogance, computer-like moves, knowledge of electronic equipment, and weird dressing habits could easily be explained by a little camera hidden in his tie and receiver hidden in his long hair or his spectacles. Alwerman immediately goes on the defensive, stating, quote, "I now have good knowledge of this variation, which I was able to use to defeat GM Kalinichev in the last round. Do you see the remarkable similarity? Both Bjørnsen and Alwerman claim to have good theoretical knowledge in the opening. He further threatens to sue anyone who accuses him of cheating, which he fails to do later on. However, further evidence comes up. An electronic supplier had sold Alwerman a handheld radio transmitter. According to the owner of the store, Alwerman had insisted on a modification that would allow him to enter 4-digit codes in the thing. Also, Alwerman purchased the very smallest receiver possible for it to be neatly hidden somewhere. While this to you might serve as clear evidence of cheating, it didn't. Moves played by experienced players can easily correspond with computer moves, and his setup was in no way documented. He was never caught on the spot. After many months of desperate search, the case was eventually dismissed. The Bavarian Chess Federation thought otherwise. They took immediate action and barred Alwerman from participation in further tournaments. Before the ban, Alwerman played one more tournament and scored exactly what is to be expected of a 1900 rated player. My own read of this situation is that he must have felt that the net was closing in. His cheating could no longer be upheld without a high probability of getting caught, especially with the whole chess world watching him. He decided to better his life. Whether Alwerman actually cheated or not remains a mystery to this day. While vibrating devices are beloved in the cheating world, the most popular way to cheat remains going to the bathroom, enabling a player to check an engine smuggled in there prior to starting a game or even during the game. And it's pretty easy to do. The only thing you'd need is a phone, an iPod, or other device with a chess program. The thing could easily fit into your pocket, and there you go. You can consult the device within the safe walls of the toilet. On the upside of things, you decide when and when not to go to the bathroom. The downside is it's also the easiest way of getting caught. It's a high-risk, high-return strategy. 2009, Nord's Chess Club Century Year Under 1600 tournament. A 14-year-old boy is playing there as well. For the sake of the story, we'll call him Ben. Ben just got a PlayStation Portable, where he discovers the program Chess Master. Ben smuggles the thing to the toilet during his game, attracting attention of the arbiter, who finds out the boy was using a, quote, handheld machine. Even though the chess program is pretty bad and would hardly serve as good assistance, Ben is expelled from the tournament. This would make Ben the first ever to be caught using a device in the bathroom, and the trendsetter for the following generations of chess players. 4 years later, the 2013 Cork Congress Chess Open is going on. A 16-year-old boy, who in our story will go by the name of John, draws inspiration from the bathroom story in 2009 to use this time a stronger engine in the toilet. His opponent, here fictionally going by the name of Robert, figures out his opponent is going for the bathroom strategy and goes all in by kicking down the cubicle door and physically hauling him out. The irony in the story is that Robert's punishment is more severe than John's. Robert is banned for 10 months for violent conduct, while John gets a 4 months ban for cheating. While both Ben's and John's story can be construed as youthful sinfulness, it becomes a little less innocent when adult master level players adopt the bathroom strategy. April 2015, the Dubai Open Chess Tournament is going on. Nigalidze is routinely going to the bathroom during the game in a crucial position. He's playing Tigran Levoni Petrosian, who ironically would later be revealed to be a cheat himself. Petrosian had previously been suspicious of Nigalidze for similar practice when he won in a tournament the year prior. Petrosian complains to the arbiter that Nigalidze is going to the same stall all the time. The arbiter's finding findings are shocking. An iPod, as well as a headset, behind a pen and beneath some toilet paper. Nigalidze goes for the I know nothing and deny everything strategy by denying he owns the device. However, the iPod is found to be logged into one of his social networking accounts, and the current position is displayed on a chess program on the same iPod. Nigalidze gets a 3-year ban and his GM title is formally revoked. What now if the bathroom strategy is used on the absolute top level of chess? We're now 6 years later. The Strasbourg Open is going on. We have this guy, Igor Rausis, just short of being a super GM, who's playing very well. The FIDE Fair Play Commission is not blind to this and had already noticed a few things. All the way back to 2003, there were allegations that Rausis provided occasional help to his wife during some correspondence chess games. And more recently, Rausis had improved his rating in a manner that could be regarded as possibly incompatible with his age and previous rating improvement curves. Just 1 year before, on July 18th, 2018, there is this tweet by Lawrence Trent, who states to be impressed with Rausis' improvement. Comments to this post use adjectives such as astonishing, amazing, inspirational, and inspiring. A year later, the reason as to how Rausis could have possibly improved so quickly would be revealed in spectacular fashion. This is a photo of Rausis in the bathroom checking the engine. However, while most other cheaters would immediately go on to deny all allegations, Rausis shows at least some class by remaining honest and showing humility, stating, quote, "I simply lost my mind yesterday. I confirmed the fact of using my phone during the game by written. What could I say more? Yes, I was tired after the morning game, and all the Facebook activity of accusers also have a known impact. At least what I committed yesterday is a good lesson. Not for me. I played my last game of chess already." Rausis is banned for 6 years and his GM title is formally revoked. 1 year later, despite Rausis announcing his retirement, he's playing in a small Latvian tournament where he signs up under the false name Isa Kasimi. However, he's recognized by GM Nixons, and after his protest, Rausis voluntarily withdraws from the tournament. This is Rausis' last chess appearance we know of. The question remains, why? Why would you be cheating in this game? Why would you cheat your way to the top instead of working your way to it? Why would you put everything on the line for some simple rating points? Aren't those just some numbers on a screen? You've dedicated your life to chess. You've put so much energy and time in a game just to be another chess guy. For most, you don't even exist. This is especially true for mediocre master players like Rausis, Nigalidze, Feller, and Niemann. Those that are at the top already won't ever cheat. The risks they take by cheating far outweigh the possible gains they could enjoy. You, on the other hand, can't reach the top of the world, but you want to have a taste of what it feels like to play the best, no, to be the best in the world. You feel a strong need to be accepted in this little world where top-level players are treated with awe and respect. You're blinded by fame, prestige, titles, cheering, money. The only thing you strive for is to gain this perverse feeling of appreciation. And as it seems, you don't have anything to lose. Remember, I've got this ticket. You want it? Hello my friends, and thank you for watching till the end of the video. Before you click off, if you enjoyed the video, do give it a like, do subscribe to the channel. I promise to bless your feed with only good content. Enjoy the funky music. I'm out.